Hi, this is my review on Batman Returns from 1992 and The Flash movie with Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton. And after I reviewed Batman 19 Returns from 1992, I give that movie a 10 out of 10. Batman Returns is a solid 10 out of 10 in my book, and it's a worthy follow-up to Michael Keaton's Batman movie, with Michael Keaton reprising his role as the Dark Knight, his version of Batman. The only downside to this movie is that this movie looks like a toy commercial. At times, the villains, I just know some of the designs look like they're from a toy commercial, like this, like with some of the inventions it gets created with some of the doohickey designs of some on some of the designs. Looking things look like, I don't know, they look like toys. The designs on some of the costumes and the gadgets with some of the villains, and including the Penguin's multiple different tricks of umbrellas stashes. They look like, I don't know, it's just like, it looks like that's what it looks like to me. But not saying the same thing. I don't like hate it, I just noticed that. I don't hate it, I just noticed that. This is kind of a weird thing, I thought, of a choice. Burton's Batman Returns pushed some little camp in the, adds a little camp in the franchise. The sequel does. And a little more sense of humor at times. Batman Returns, I noticed, has, well, more self-awareness that is a comic book movie. Well, the first one, was trying to be a movie. I felt like the first one was just trying to be a straight up faithful. If the first one felt like it was more just trying to be a comic book movie, this one feels like it's more self-aware on and going meta on itself, on its own Batman material for Burton's, and for Burton's vision. I love Burton. Burton's the one who made this Batman and directed this Batman, and pretty much that Keaton plays, the one that Keaton plays for this era of Batman films. With Michael Keaton as Batman, and I thought it was funny when the Penguin bit the nose of this guy and made it gush blood. I thought that was funny, seeing that shit as hell. And I thought it was funny when Batman delivered a one-liner called "High Fiber" to Catwoman, and after telling her to eat floor, and when he's in the middle of a fight with her, he's also like delivers another line called "Eat floor" besides "High Fiber," and tries to make that a zinger. Of a catch, I guess like singer or a catchphrase of something. And next thing you know, Michelle Pfeiffer goes calling it, trying to make girl talk a catchphrase in this movie, and funny and silly and it's like just like saying these things. And they say this like really over the top comic book fashion to a point it's kind of laughable of how serious and intense they're saying it. Speaking of this, they say so intensely these lines. It's kind of funny. That's why I give Batman Returns a 10 out of 10. Batman Returns from 1992. Batman Returns is a solid classic. I give it a 10 out of 10. I recommend this film. Yeah. And, before I go, I need to talk about the Flash movie. I give the Flash movie a 8 out of 10. Because Michael Keaton's Batman returns in this movie, and he is awesome in this movie, and he's the best part about this movie. And, the Flash movie in a way kind of acts like sort of in a way conclusion to Michael Keaton's Batman. From Burton's Batman movies that he directed. And I do like how well written he is into the story of the Flash once he's introduced, and I love how he pretty much, he pretty much fights both Barrys with the powers because one doesn't know how to use them, really. Or forgets to use, I don't know. But somehow, he's able to overpower both Barrys with the power and bears out the power, the main Barry that lost his power. Because the other one got the power, MacGuffin. It's somehow, instead of, which I don't understand still, you would think that instead of the lighting, you think that Barry just getting more juice from the lighting. You just think that instead it takes away his power, the lighting does, and gives the other Barry his power. It's like makes no really any sense to me. Then the reason why I give this an 8 out of 10 is because it's not as good as Michael Keaton's Batman Returns or the original Batman with Michael Keaton Batman flick. I mean, honestly, I was really let down with the ending. I mean, why the fuck did you decide to make the cameo George Clooney Batman of all people? George Clooney Batman. Why would you do this? It's almost like the reason why they did this because the filmmakers hate you, the audience. And I just want to remind you of what was considered by many people the worst Batman ever put to depicted in history was George Clooney's Batman. Pretty much voted by many people the worst Batman in history. And I agree. He is the worst Batman in history, so why would you, put him in, have the camera be George Clooney's Batman instead of anybody else once Barry resets the time within the Speed Force? Makes Keaton's and Ben Affleck's Batman no longer exists. But we're now in a universe where George Clooney's Batman, and we're in the Batman Robin Crystal Dawn universe. Yeah, basically, where everything's more colorful and less depressing looking design to look. Probably that's what your mind instantly goes to when you see George Clooney. Once you see George Clooney's Batman, and you find out he's Batman in this, I was like, okay. That's lame. The ending. But it's not just that, there's a lot of lame ideas in The Flash that is like that. Scenes that's like that. That are lame. Outside of everything that's Michael Keaton's Batman, everything's kind of lame a lot of the times in this movie. It's like, because Ezra Miller's Flash is always hungry. He likes lunch. That's his personality, I think. And he's a stressed out, paranoid control freak. Stressed out. With stress of some reason. We don't know why. And other than his mother is obviously affected, obviously affected him. But we see that he wouldn't be this way once we introduced the younger Barry in this movie. He wouldn't be as controlling if his mother didn't die, I guess, of other people. But I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird. Why do they have to make the Flash character such a weird dude? I don't know. Flash and Barry's Flash is really such a weird dude, and he's given he gives all these weird expressions these Bugs Bunny expressions that you would see in a cartoon. That he makes Scooby-Doo expressions, cartoon expressions, that are as comedic as Matthew Broderick trying to play Inspector Gadget from the Inspector Gadget movie with Matthew Broderick, or as comedic as Maguire's Spider-Man from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man from 2002, when he's trying to be funny. You know, that's why probably why they cut out all of his lines, so he wouldn't say anything in the sequels with Maguire. And nobody really noticed or missed Maguire's zingers trying to be funny, because the film knows he couldn't pull off, because he sucks at it, trying to be funny in the first Spider-Man movie in 2002. That's probably why he doesn't say anything and shuts the fuck up in Spider-Man 2 and also Spider-Man 3. Because the one character trait that Spider-Man's known for is usually his sense of humor and his jokes. Maguire couldn't make them stick at all. Oh my god, it's cringe. Cringe when Maguire jokes. It's like as cringe as watching someone it's like watching it's as much cringe as watching the last Airbender movie from 2010. Thanks to M. Night Shyamalan making of his doing. That piece of horseshit of a movie. And I hate the horseshit of Maguire's Spider-Man. And I hate the horseshit of Ezra Miller's Flash. In this Flash movie. Because both Flash suck. Kind of. The young Barry from the past and the main Barry from our story that we follow through sucks too. It's a character I cannot stand, and a character I cannot not stand at, not try not to cringe at. I cannot try not to cringe watching this as Miller as Barry Flash. Because everything that Barry does, 90% is absolute horseshit. Horseshit writing, horseshit executing. And we don't like meet Keaton's Batman until after Barry resets time. First in the movie. To save his mother from dying. And then after that, we're introduced to young Barry. Oh, he's worse. Than the main Barry. My god, he's worse. He's even more annoying. And more cringe. Filled of cringe time. But once Michael Keaton's Batman is introduced, he actually has pretty much a main character arc himself, and he's pretty much in the entire movie, the rest of the movie, until he gets killed off. which I found out thanks to the power of YouTube, that scene that he gets killed off in is actually a reshot scene. So originally he was supposed to live, basically. I found out before they reshot the ending. At the last minute I found out that. And then thanks to the power of YouTube. So that makes sense why Michael Keaton looks kind of, why some of the, well, that kind of makes sense why the CG around Michael Keaton, his background looks kind of like shit. The CGI background of Michael Keaton's then looks like shit when he gets killed off. Compared to everything else, a different kind of shit than every other shitty CGI effect that's in this movie. That's not finished. The CGI is also half-baked, it looks like. Finished. It's not finished, it doesn't look like, it looks like rubber. Like a PlayStation 2 console video game, it looks like. A PlayStation 3, maybe. It looks like a PlayStation 3 video game. The CGI. The CGI looks like a PlayStation 3 video game from, like it was, like it looks as convincing as God of War 3 on PlayStation 3. You know how God of War 3 looks now. For the original version release. It looks dated as hell a little bit for today's standard. Maybe if it came out like a few years into the 2010s era, it will look impressive. But now these days, this looks like shit. Like maybe if this movie came out, the CGI came out in 2012. Maybe I would say this would be probably impressive. Or 2002, it would be even more impressive. But it looks like shit for today's standard. The CGI. The special effects. All the special effects look like shit, and that whole finish. Just like, so that's why I give The Flash a 8 out of 10. A 8 out of 10 I give The Flash. 8 out of 10. Here's my final verdict on the final thoughts on The Flash movie with Michael Keaton and Ezra Miller. I give the movie an 8 out of 10, and Michael Keaton's Batman Returns a 10 out of 10. And that's my review on Batman Returns and The Flash. I gave both movies up. The reason why I give I give the 8 out of 10 for The Flash because that was an okay movie. I give 10 out of 10 for Batman Returns because I love that movie. I'm obsessed with it. In a good, positive way. I think it's a great movie. Such a great movie. Subscribe. Hit the bell. And then hit the subscribe button in that order to get subscribed, please. and hit the like button. Thumbs up. Okay. Goodbye, audience. That's all for now.